Some of you may remember my Lord is an Iron Blaster video. One of the things about Domination is your Lord, quote-unquote, is whatever unit is in the first slot in your starting army, right? Although you do technically have to take a Lord character in either your starting army or your reinforcements. It doesn't have to be in your starting army, and in this case here with this Cathay replay from Zasper, his Lord is a Sky Junk, and that includes, Lord loss penalties. If the Sky Junk dies, it counts as his Lord dying, right? So he wants to try and keep it alive. Thankfully, he's facing off against Slaanesh, so it'll be relatively easy as long as he can defend against the obligatory 4 Furies. To do so, he's got some Jade Warriors and 1 Halberd for shielded Jade Warriors up front, 2 Iron Hails and a Peasant Archer, 5 Spears, and 2 Jade Lancers. Quite a strong full starting army, like that quite a bit. Gun Lord in reserve here. We got 2 Longmas as well, 2 Jade Halberds, another Jade Sword, 3 Jade Crossbows, and 2 Peasant Horses. On the other side for Slaanesh, Herald of Slaanesh. Here we've got Seekers, 3 Demonettes, Hellstriders, a couple of Furies, and 4 Marauders, the anti-infantry variant. Bringers of Beguilement, Exalted Demonette ROR in reserve. Got the Heart Seekers as well. 2 more Seekers, 3 Spawns, and 2 more Furies. Let's jump in and check it out. Of course, Sky Junk is unbearably slow, but does have a massive HP pool. So, yeah, and as a result, it can be relatively easy to protect. The fact that Furies don't have that much weapon damage and they're relatively squishy means you can screen them even without Longmas. Just with ranged units, oftentimes you can screen them well enough, but obviously it definitely helps to have Longmas. Here on the Mountains of Morn map, and the micro for this is going to be very interesting. And Zasper mentioned in his replay submission that there's a bug here where if it's on manual fire, I believe maybe it doesn't consume the same amount of ammo, or maybe like the side rifles don't consume their ammo. I guess he can clarify in the comment below exactly what he meant by that, but because you've got the riflemen right on the side that have a separate ammo pool from the main rocket gun in the front, and I forget exactly how it works, but we'll keep an eye on the ammo pool as it gets used and how things go. Of course, only 30 speed, again, super slow, but literally 1 charge bonus, 8 melee attack, and 8 melee defense. One of the most insane stat lines we've ever seen. And to be honest, I'm a little bit sad that the Magistrate can't take the Junk. It's only the Lantern that he can take as a mount. A little bit disappointing, to be honest, but hey, I'm sure Creative Assembly has some reasons for doing that. Just don't ask me what they would be. Definitely be cool of them at some point. Maybe they're saving it for like a Legendary Lord, kind of like Count Noctilus, the only one that gets the Necrofex as a mount. Maybe we'll get like the Sky Admiral for Cathay someday that will the Junk as a mount. But anyway, Furies are deployed. These are summoned Furies, it looks like, from the Herald, which will come in. They won't do any armor piercing damage, but they'll do damage nonetheless. 80 armor on the Sky Junk. You can see there it's already down below 10,000 HP, but here come the Longmas. And another thing to note here about the micro is you'll notice that throughout the course of the battle, the Junk is going to be rotating a lot. Like, you'll see him constantly turning and kind of zigzagging back and forth. That is to rotate the side guns, right, to allow them all an opportunity to shoot, since they all have their own individual reload time. If you rotate the gun, you see how now, like, this one's got a shot in a position. Generally, if there's enemy unit models on all sides, you don't need to worry too much about it. But another thing, too, is I think he is manually firing. Given the accuracy of the Junk, I do think that Zasper is manually firing it. And again, you see him kind of rotate around so that the gunners in back can get a shot onto those Marauders as they charge in. Taking a look at the rest of the battlefield here, Slaanesh is seizing the low ground. We've got some Demonettes and other units taking battlefield control there. Slicing Shards coming through, just tearing apart some Iron Hail Gunners there. And it's kind of weak, half-hearted attack from Slaanesh here to come try and seize this side objective. Instead, they're going all in on the center. There's a lot of value here, but given Cathay's lack of mobility, it might make sense for Slaanesh to just pull back and sort of reposition all their forces and make a push over on this side objective and just kind of forsake the center for the time being, but we'll see. Right now, the Sky Junk here in harmony, perfectly holding off the Furies. They're having very little issues. It's taken some HP damage, but certainly nothing too crazy yet. Longmas are also in a position once again to come in and screen. Nice lash of Slaanesh from the Herald there. I didn't see what mount the Herald has. Like a Seeker. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the Chariot mount. Perfect Vigor Chariot specifically. Vaulted Seeker Chariot for the Herald. Just very, very good. But some nasty shots there. The accuracy of the manual fire of the Skyjunk is honestly alarming. Seems like Zasper's been practicing quite a bit with this, because he has been getting some really good skill shots and will continue to do so throughout the course of the battle. Some Iron Hails come back, getting a nice rear shot there into the Demonettes. This sort of mobile box that he's formed here is a good way to defend this center position on this map. It's a tactic I use myself relatively frequently. I play here, not that much else to see on the rest of the battlefield, so we'll keep it close in the center as the Skyjunk continues to rotate. Another slicing shard's going to drop here. Take out those Iron Hail Gunners. It's not the best value trade, but tactically, you know, definitely very strong. Oh man, actually pretty good value trade there, as it does shred some Jade Halberds as well. But speaking of shredding, those Furies once again getting shredded. That shot was maybe the least accurate shot we've seen so far from the Skyjunk, but definitely there seems to be some kind of bug with the ammo consumption happening here, where it's not really consuming all that much ammo, at least from its main gun. Granted, he hasn't actually taken that many shots from the main gun, so anyway. Yeah, you can see there the Iron Hails continuing to tee off on the Herald. One reason why I like the Chariot, you could just immediately come like charging here, do a big attack and pull straight through, but look at that shot, man, right into the Bringers of Beguilement. That shot in and of itself was probably like 600 value, and the Skyjunk's already up to 160 kills. Pretty good stuff. Is he going to drop a bomb as he kind of maneuvers over this little pocket of spawns here? A lot of people won't even use the junk bombs just because it's so slow. They're a little bit janky to actually use in practice, but looks like he did not drop one there. But again, continuing to do the dread rotation, allow his gunners to fire on all sides. Speaking of gunners, Iron Hails trying to save those Longmas. Acquiescence, though, and the Furies of Slaanesh means they're going to get torn apart pretty quickly. Nice Seeker flank, too, to get up and into the spawn of Cathay, to start to take out some of these missile units that are just sitting pretty teeing off here. Jade Warrior Crossbowmen just get eviscerated in seconds, literally. Checking back in on the junk here. Looks like in the center, a lot of these Cathayan units are being pushed back. Just a lot of damage happening here. The Jade Lancers maybe staying in combat a little bit over long, and more than that too, the presence of the spawn, the high capture weight, Soporific Musk, the fact they're just, you know, high ass, literally, they managed to wrest this center objective, so things are staying close in terms of victory tickets. Again, this Cathayan force over here pretty much completely untouched. Slaanesh really not even challenging, just content to let that value not necessarily be wasted, but just sit there and not really contribute to the rest of the battle. Meanwhile, up on the high ground, that Seeker attack managed to kill pretty much all the range units that were up here, impressively enough, and continuing to run through. Nice, devastating finish on those Jade Lancers, along with the Furies and the Demonettes there. More Furies in the air, tearing away at the Skyjunk, so slowly but surely its HP is getting chipped down, although, and in terms of Furies, I think like maybe 4 or 5 Furies have already been sent at it, which value-wise is not great, but hey, definitely got to do whatever you can to get it down. Acquiescence is going to put it down to 23 speed and 0 melee defense, not that it was far above that to begin with, but anyway. Slaanesh looking pretty strong in the center, and at this point, Cathay is going to reorganize, get some of their forces pushing back into the center here. Some Jade Warriors, the Archers as well. Be able to get some nice, cheap missile DPS. And a nice blob forming too. Let's watch for the... Oh yeah, there you see the pot shot there. Burning to fire again. Oop, oop, nope. Where's it going to shoot? Where's it going to shoot? Oh man. Like a giant game of Russian roulette. Turns and shoots into the blobbed up Demonettes fighting on the hill and basically one-shots them. So there you go. Again, just heinously accurate fire from the Skyjunk as it continues to do work here. And the thing is, too, it's almost like a flying mortis engine in a way, right? Because the gunners on the side are just continuing to shoot the entire time. And it seems like with this bug, they possibly have infinite ammo. They are going to be just, again, it's kind of like a Mortis engine. You're just applying constant damage to everything within that radius, more or less. And not that a lot of these units have missile block chance innately, but also will be tearing away at that, of course. Anyway. Oh, man. We're going to see a bomb. Come on, drop a bomb, dude. Do it. Nope. Nope. Looks like maybe not. But he is continuing to rotate. Yes! Oh, there we go. It did a little bit of damage. Little bomb drop right there. It's something, certainly. But Seeker's getting through. Going to get on those peasant archers. In terms of value, Cathay, it does have 2,000 points to spend on units, but we can't see the reinforcement pool. Likely there's not a lot of units available to summon. Let's see. Nice little infantry counter push. Once all these Slaanesh units are thinned out, would be able to recap perhaps, but at this point Slaanesh is starting to take a lead on tickets, so rather than staying and trying to finish off those peasant long spears, continue to cap that, go for a 3 cap, which might honestly be worth it. This Seeker is going to move over into the center and just come finish these peasant archers. Again, this is overkill, especially considering you can tell these peasants aren't really being microed. Wouldn't be hard to swing up and around and just crush them in a quick rear charge. And then again, you'd have a full 3 objective control here and really put a lot of pressure. Cathay, because of the lack of mobility, it's going to have a hard time getting back in a game where they get 3 capped, right? Even regardless of the situation almost. But the cavalry do eventually come over here to try and secure. Let's see if they kind of fan out or if they're going to YOLO straight to the front of those spears. Definitely if they fan out, they can easily win, but we'll see. Another nasty sky junk shot manually fired there into the center. Those demonettes, yeah, I mean, they're pretty much done. They're barely hanging on to their leadership, which is pretty impressive, but maybe another bomb being dropped here, perhaps? Nope. Instead, the sky junk just, again, continuing to rotate. And here comes some cavalry. We've got some Jade Warriors coming through as well. Another nasty slicing shards getting ready to get dropped. That shot didn't do too much, but the rockets definitely making their presence felt. Oof. Oof, that slicing charge just does so much damage. But again, these Slaanesh forces really not at all trying to capture that one objective number 1, not going for the 3 cap, which, I mean, I guess to a degree it makes sense not to overfeed Cathay's catch-up supply, right? So they can't amass a larger army, but at the same time, you know, again, from a tactical perspective, from a mobility perspective, the lack of mobility for Cathay means 3 capping them is almost always a good idea. Oh, man. Oh, the humanity. The sky junk just continuing to rain death. Up to 417 kills, 4,700 damage value, and climbing. Just all the dead bodies all over the center objective is due to the sky junk, pretty much. Like to see that. Meanwhile, in terms of summons, we're getting some more Marauders in here for Slaanesh. Marauders over on the low ground as well. Slaanesh Cavalry eventually decide, you know what, we're not even going to try. We just stood over there for a long time for no reason, apparently. And instead, they're going to come try and continue to defend the center. But, I mean, at this point, Cathay's got enough infantry capture power to probably hold this. And, yeah, it's a little bit hard to operate cavalry in this area because you have these little chunks of impassable terrain scattered around the objective. And there's just enough that it's, like, awkward to maneuver cavalry, and oftentimes you end up in the wrong angle, not necessarily the angle like here that you wanted to charge in from, and they end up kind of just getting pushed back. The Jades, it looks like, are able to mostly hold there against the assault of the Seekers, and at this point Slaanesh is very far behind on army damage value. I mean, I don't have the readout here, but I can just tell by looking at how few units there are actually still here fighting, as my mouse is having a little issue there. But yeah, the Seekers going to get banished here in the center. Even the Herald at this point is getting very, very low. So now we have some more Demonettes, some more Marauders coming through, but that nasty rocket fire just point blank into the center mass of the unit. And they're also a little bit of a block formation too, again because of that impassable terrain. Honestly, let's see. This is just asking to get rocketed directly in the back. Let's see. Furies are attacking. They're probably getting that devastating flanker, but oh no, the humanity. Oh no, one shot does like half HP damage on the unit. And where are we at in terms of damage value? 550 kills, 6,380 damage value. So, I mean, at this point, Cathay's in a pretty commanding position. I don't think they're pretty close to needing a 3-cap, actually. But they managed to get this 2-cap secured just in time, and looks like they should be able to take home the victory. It is going to be very, very close, though. And had Slaanesh been able to hold for slightly longer, they would have definitely won. But at this point, yeah, I mean, again, the side cap of this objective, too, probably could have changed the outcome of the battle as well. But at this point, Cathay is on track to win. All they have to do is defend. The question is, can they actually do that? At this point, all the infantry in the center is actually evaporated. There's just this one peasant horseman trying to clutch out the win here. And of course, the dread junk. The Sky Admiral. I'm just going to say it. This is the Sky Admiral. Whoever's the commander of that Sky Junk there is going to get promoted to Legendary Lord. And oh man, again, like half a unit just gets killed in a single volley. I've never actually tried manually firing the Sky Junk. I guess I got to practice with it and get good, because this seems a little ridiculous how strong that is. More Seekers come in, and Slaanesh, oh man, they're going to be able to secure the center, perhaps? Oh, Slaanesh is actually going to win here? Man, I thought for sure Cathay was on track to win in terms of tickets, but it looks like, yeah, especially with the secure in the center there, Slaanesh just puts the nail in the coffin. Wow, I thought Cathay, I mean, they were, I think, on track. Maybe I had my math just slightly wrong, but interesting. Wow, Slaanesh actually able to clutch out the win there, despite 625 kills, almost 7,000 damage value on a single Sky Junk. So, honestly, great game to both players. Really, really fun stuff. Big thanks to Exasperate for sending that one in. Oh man, I mean, the rest of his army probably struggles, to be honest, but the Sky Junk, of course, that's kind of crazy. I've never seen anyone just skill-shotting like that, just over the course of a long game. That is quite a lot of damage, and look at this also, the Herald of Slaanesh, almost 400 kills herself, 1,432 damage value. I do think if you were to put her on the Chariot, you could probably pump these numbers up a little bit, maybe break 450, 500. I mean, the Chariot is worth about 100 kills in and of itself against an infantry-centric composition like Cathay, so I don't know. For me personally, I would easily justify cutting any of these units here, especially like one of the Demonettes maybe, to get the gold to upgrade the Herald to that Chariot. But anyway, in terms of the rest of the damage, Demonette's actually performing pretty well. I'm not that big of a fan of the basic Demonettes at the moment, but they do actually perform well here, and this is a matchup where they can do quite awesomely. The Spawn also providing that unbreakable capture weight. Soporific Musk definitely helps in certain points. For Cathay, like I said, pretty much the Sky Junk is the main high point. A lot of these other units did pay for themselves, but they also were resummoned multiple times. So it's a little bit rough there, but fun stuff nonetheless. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this one. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.